At the start of this transfer window, I said what West Ham needed to do more than anything else was get guaranteed first-team starters. We needed to bring in and recruit the type of players that would say to everybody else, look, I'm in with him. I'm playing alongside Bowen. I'm playing alongside Wan-Bissaka. I'm playing alongside Paqueta. Whoever else you want to pick around me, that's entirely up to you. But I start. And we've not done that. That's the truth of the matter. I think Carl Walker-Peters looks like he'll be a decent squad player. Hermansen, look, it's been a horror start to him, and I think anybody would conclude at the moment there are no guarantees that he is going to be the first choice goalkeeper. Certainly you wouldn't expect Callum Wilson to be a guaranteed starter. You wouldn't say he improves the first team. And even El Malik Diouf, I think he's got promise. I think he'll be a very, very good player. And I think he'll benefit from a season in the Premier League. But you can't say he is definitely loads better than everybody else in the squad and is guaranteed that left wing back spot. Which is why I've been absolutely delighted to hear the news the news this morning. And the news this morning is, as you'll have seen from the thumbnail and you'll know already, is that it looks like the deal for Mateus Fernandes is all but done. This guy goes straight into the first team. This guy just gets dropped into midfield. I don't know what people are going to say. Hold on a second. Is Potter going to drop James Ward-Prowse for this guy? Well, look, if Potter doesn't do that, then it'll be on Potter's neck. I don't think he's got long left if he doesn't pull results round. And I think if he lost to Nottingham Forest, then I think he'd be in trouble. But by and large, I want this video to be a sort of Graham Potter and board-free zone. I think there's a statement coming out from Hammers United very, very soon, and there's going to be a lot to discuss with the ownership. So we're just going to park the ownership and park Graham Potter's future for now, because there's transfer news to talk about. And I do believe with Fernandez, he will immediately improve the team. Why we've left it so long, I don't know. It's funny because it's an easy win in midfield. I think it's harder to maybe, improve the right wing because obviously I know Jared Bowen's not been playing there, but we've got Bowen there. It's maybe not easy to find a better striker than Nicholas Füllkrug, for instance, who's just been called up to Germany. But I think the midfield was an easy win because it's completely dysfunctional. So I don't know why we've left that until last. It's very, very weird. But anyway, the fact that we're bringing Fernandez in now is absolutely brilliant. What are the details? Well, the details are that it's going to be about a £40 million transfer. It was always going to be this if we were going to get him. We wanted to pay 30 million. They wanted 50 million. Of course, it was going to be 40 million. Now, depending on which website you read, which newspaper you read, the composition of the deal varies slightly, but it's basically 35 million with add-ons taking it to 40 million or whatever. The add-ons take it to about 40 million. He's been left out of Southampton's squad. I think Will Still, we mentioned it in yesterday's video, had already indicated that he wasn't going to play a part in their next game. And actually, just briefly, I didn't actually believe it when I said it, if the truth be known. We were talking about Alex Garcia yesterday. I said, I wonder if this is a ruse to smoke out Southampton and smoke out interest in Fernandez. It was just a guess. That's all that was. Didn't know that at all, and it would seem to be that's what's happening now. It's really interesting actually because go back to Magassa, who of course is the midfielder, used to be a central defender, more recently a midfielder who we're looking to sign from Monaco. Really interested yesterday because he underwent. They have a 2-part medical, and he underwent the first part of his medical, then the second part of his medical, and then there's a technicality that wasn't right about the first part of his medical. So he then had to go back to complete that. Otherwise, I think the plan was to announce him yesterday. Because of that, there was this big conspiracy theory that popped up around it. Now, you can sort of understand why conspiracy theories do pop up, because everyone's so downbeat about West Ham. Nobody's got any faith in the West Ham ownership being able to get deals done. That, of course, we're thinking, well, this is going to collapse. We've not done, for all the reasons that I've already said, we've not done well at bringing players in the window. But it was very specific. It was Frankfurt have come in and they'd turned his heads. Apparently, that wasn't the case at all. We just had to go back. And it wasn't because he was injured or anything like that. I don't really understand what it was, but it was a technicality about the first part of his medical. Delayed that. He had to go back. And I think possibly maybe even while we're doing this video, they will announce his signing. And it should be that both Magassa and Fernandez will be in the squad for Nottingham Forest. Now, this is where it becomes hard not to discuss Graham Potter. I don't particularly want to discuss his future, but he is... I don't think he's got the leeway to do the gently approach with these players, really. I know a lot more about Fernandez than I do about Magassa. Let's say that. And it wouldn't surprise me at all if this Magassa has actually been brought in to also fill in central defence. You can't have too many of these versatile players, as I said. But Potter may well find that he's not got the luxury of easing these players in. He would almost have to throw them in just to save his own job, I suspect, which I think is... It's an interesting one, because I don't know why we haven't done business earlier, but this is from the board has thrown pressure back on Potter. So if David Sullivan in particular gets these deals done, we mentioned the other day he's having a hold my beer moment. You guys can't get transfer deals done. I can. And he gets these deals done and you get first team players out of it, he's going to feel emboldened. I suspect he's going to feel less emboldened when the Hammers United stuff comes out, and because it's, I think that's going to put a lot of pressure on him, and rightly so. But for the moment, because it's been interesting. It's very hard not to talk about Sullivan and Potter, actually. It's been interesting because over the last 24 hours, 48 hours, I've noticed a lot of journalists are really turning on Sullivan as well. So this just switches the focus back onto Potter, because Sullivan will be able to say, well, hold on a second, I've supported the manager. Now, of course, that doesn't tell the whole story, does it? Because these players should have been in at the start of the window, and really there's no excuse for them not to have been so. But anyway, that's just the situation that I think is going to unfold there. Before I continue with this video, just point in the direction of today's sponsor, which is Boyle Sports. Who Boyle Sports? Boyle Sports are West Ham's official shirt sponsor for this season, but they're also Hammers Chat partners. And because of that, throughout the season, we're going to give you boosted odds on West Ham games. Basically, you're going to get better odds on West Ham games because of Boyle Sports' partnership with West Ham. And because of Boyle Sports' partnership with Hammers Chat, we're going to be incorporating them in our matchday bets, in our pre-match bets, to give you boosted odds on that. That will continue all season. But also, if you sign up now, you're going to get 40 quid's worth of free bets. This is what you've got to do, though. You've got to use the link in the description below, because if you just do it via Google, you will not get these discounts and you will not get these bonuses. You've got to sign up, you've got to deposit £10, and you've got to make a £10 bet. At the point that you do that and that bet is concluded, or whatever that bet may be, we're starting to beat Nottingham Forest 4-0. Once that bet is done, then you will get credited with 40 quid's worth of bets. That's £30 worth of sports bets and another 10 quid's worth of casino bets. Adults only, bet responsibly, read the terms and conditions, no matter how boring they might seem. But really, really good deals over there, and we're absolutely delighted to have them as Hammers Chat partners. Links in the description below. Don't forget to use it. What was interesting, I didn't actually manage to do a 60-second roundup yesterday. The news was going so quickly, it probably would have been an ideal time for one. But hey, look, the day got away from me. But there was so much news yesterday. One of them was that Nathan Gerd was a target for Sunderland. Now, I had to laugh at this because it's the same Nathan Gerd that was in the defence that Sunderland put 3 goals past. He was labelled as being a priority signing, priority target, and that sort of thing. And this is interesting because West Ham is still supposedly in the market for a central defender. Here's what I think's just happened. Now, this may or may not be accurate. I just don't know. But even if it's not, West Ham are in the market for a central defender and a striker as well. Now, striker was off the menu, completely off the menu, because Graham Potter had apparently said, I don't want a striker. I'm happy with what I got. And you know what? You can sort of believe that. I don't believe everything I hear, but that I sort of do believe. You could tell by the team that he put out against Wolves. He didn't start with a striker on the pitch. He had a winger and midfielder up there, and he had Marshall, Wilson and Fulkrug on the bench. I just wonder now, I feel like, and I mentioned this yesterday, I feel at the start of the window, David Sullivan didn't feel that he could undermine Graham Potter. I feel because of Graham Potter's poor run of results, Not just that, not just results, the performance, the substitutions, the team selection. I feel that Sullivan feels emboldened. He's very much taken over and made himself dictator of football now, so that's why he's doing the transfers. I do believe Magassa is a Carl McCauley transfer. I should say that. I think that's the case, definitely. Fernandez, I don't know. But what I do know is that definitely a striker is not. But he feels emboldened to say, well, do you know what? I'm going to take charge now. I'm going to get a striker. I think another midfielder comes in. Well, I say another midfielder. Obviously, we've got the two that we're looking at. There's rumours of Timber at the moment. There's two of them, aren't they? There's two. The one in Holland, not the one at Arsenal. A centre back and a striker. I wouldn't be surprised now if what West Ham are doing is stacking the squad, just so as if we do sack Graham Potter, then a new manager comes in, and a new manager doesn't come in and say, well, what's that? What the hell's going on with this squad? Why is there no striker? There's just panic stations. It's panic stations. But just because it's panic stations doesn't mean we're bringing in a bad player in Fernandez. I think he's a really good player. This is the guy that I wanted. Even when we were linked with Harvey Elliott, this is the guy that I wanted because I just think he makes more sense to our midfield at the moment. Magassa, I don't know. That's the truth of the matter. I've not even seen enough of him in clips to remotely make a judgment about him. So I just don't know. Fernandez, absolutely delighted with this. Really pleased. Get this deal over the line. Medical. He's already. I think he had. It depends who you read, but Jacob Steinberg, ex-West Ham United employee, a Telegraph journalist whose name escapes me now. One of them said he had the first part of his medical yesterday, so I can't credit the correct person because I can't remember who said it. But there's just been so much information. But certainly there's been so much. Sky Sports are now running with it, but I've got to say Sky Sports, I do feel have got a lot wrong in this window, and they were running with that Raheem Sterling stuff yesterday. The John Victor stuff, we covered that yesterday. Just so much going on. Big hurry, big panic. As the window closes, should we have done it earlier? Absolutely, but I am glad we are making some signings now because I think without them we just get relegated. I think we're on the path to relegation now. I think the club is so poorly run, but at least we give ourselves a fighting chance. And make no mistake about it, whilst I do believe that relegation would probably see us rid of Sullivan, which would be a really good thing, I also don't think the club, because of the stadium, because of our issues, would recover from relegation in the way that we have before. So I think it's really important. The best scenario for me is that we stay up and get rid of Sullivan. I don't want to preempt what Hammers United are doing. We'll discuss that once the statement's out. I just had a look on their website. Couldn't see it on their website then, but we'll discuss that as and when. But without revealing too much, I really like what they're saying. I really like what they see, and I think they're going about it in a really cerebral way, which I really, really like it. Anyway, right, that's that. Hopefully later on today we'll be able to celebrate that West Ham are signing a new player, or hopefully two, and with possibly another 2 or 3 on the way afterwards. What's this mean for Paqueta? People are going to ask it. Truth of the matter is I don't know. Just don't know. I do know we need more than one attacking midfielder. I want to see Fernandez in the team alongside Paqueta. I want to see us attacking more because it doesn't appear that... it doesn't appear that we can attack. We can't defend either, and the goalkeepers can't catch the ball. But apart from that, it's not too bad.